praise from Republicans. So joining me now to discuss this story, talk radio host and former Bush and Clinton administration official, also trade official, Steve Gill. Steve, good to see you again. So let's start there. The mainstream media obviously long ridiculed Donald Trump and his allies for claiming that their campaign was spied on by federal law enforcement in 2016. But now we're hearing this from someone as respected as Bill Barr, the AG himself. He was also the AG back in your era too. Can we expect a more serious attitude from the media about it now?
Well, I think it really kind of ties into the whole Assange story you were dealing with earlier. The focus has been on how Julian Assange got the information, how the leaks came to him. But there's no question that the leaks that he then put out there indicated that there was spying going on with respect to U.S. citizens, with respect to foreign leaders by the U.S. government during the Obama administration. And I think that kind of undergirds what's being said was taking place now. Plus, there's really no question but that there was surveillance or spying, whichever term you want to use. I think some people are trying to parse it the way that Bill Clinton tried to parse what is. What is the difference between spying and surveillance when it's conducted against a competing presidential campaign from the party that was in power at the time, the Democrats in the Obama administration? We know that they were surveilling or spying on those within the Trump administration or the Trump campaign, because that's why they sought a FISA warrant to be able to go out and conduct the spying. So again, whether you call it spying or surveillance, some of these people I think are hysterical. Maybe they've watched too many episodes of The Americans, but clearly it was taking place. The question is, as Attorney General Barr pointed out, was it legal or illegal spying? And he's going to investigate to figure that out.
Now, pursuing any disciplinary action against any of these, high-level DOJ or FBI officials, that's going to be a very tough path for Barr here. Do you think he is serious when he says he's going to bring light to how this whole Russiagate scandal unfolded, or is he just trying to appease the president? What do you think?
Well, again, when you look at the FISA warrant, we know that information was withheld from the judge to get the warrant to do this surveillance. And they withheld the fact that the funding for the dossier had come from Democratic Party operatives, that it was being funded by those that had questionable objectives. There is clearly a there. Again, what Attorney General Barr has to do is investigate, find out what was done, why it was done, who did it, and whether what they did was within the parameters of the law to allow them to do it. And I think at this point, the hysteria over we can't look into this, to me, shows that there's got to be something there, or the same folks who were being briefed about this surveillance at the time the Obama administration was in power wouldn't be pitching such a good Southern term for you, hissy fit over exposing it.
Now, we're seeing obviously kind of strong words, this very strong approach coming from Barr. Do you think the AG will recommend to the president that he should perhaps maybe pardon some of his former advisors like Michael Flynn or Roger Stone or even George Papadopoulos, who were all largely charged with process crimes or other white-collar crimes from this Bob Mueller report?
I don't think the Attorney General is going to get involved in recommending pardons to the president for some of the folks who have either pled to various process crimes, as you point out, or who may still be under investigation. I think the Attorney General is going to focus his attention on what happened in terms of whether the FBI, whether our foreign intelligence gathering operations were conducting any of these operations on U.S. soil, targeting a competing presidential campaign. And I think all Americans ought to be disturbed if that happened, but more importantly, even if it happened legally, the idea that you can have an administration in power investigating, surveilling, spying on their political enemies, I think should raise concerns, not just if it was done illegally, but if it was somehow done legally, because I think that opens a whole Pandora's box of what are our intelligence gathering operations doing, focusing on people here in the United States that happen to be running campaigns against their bosses at the time.
All very strong points. As always, appreciate your insight on this, Steve Gill. Thank you so much.
Thanks. We'll talk again soon.